is your brother Jermaine Beckford? I was like, yeah. He goes, what the f*** are you doing in here? Bang, slapped the flat, walked off. And my Cody was looking at me like, yeah, he's got a point.
Bro.
And I remember just feeling so small. Even though it was definitely rock bottom, it was definitely like, I can't believe I've f***ed up so badly. Now going to jail was the best thing that happened to me because it made me realize everything. It was like, again, another major shift. I'm gonna be on a TV show on Sky 1 with Wayne Rooney. He just won the Champions League, bro, and the Premier League. There's bare man watching. I'm just looking at him. I was like, bro, you don't even know me. You're trying to tell me why I'm.
You say you can take the boy out of the hood.
I was there with my dad, and I ended up sprinting like 30 meters, and I sprint back, and I was dusting.
Man's running the Air Forces.
Yeah, and he was like, "What the hell ain't shit, bro? What are you talking about? I don't care about your hit, bro. You can have your top 10. I got a kid, and he loves me. You know that he adores me. Like I'm like his hero.
Yes.
When that I had all that time to kind of recreate myself and find myself was a blessing.
Wow.
But the stress of it was that my sister was mad sick. My mum was obviously going through a lot.
Yeah, you know it's.
Clean energy. You know it's clean energy. Yeah, we keep it clean with the energy.
Yeah, you know it's clean energy.
You know it's clean energy.
Yeah.
Clean energy.
Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode of the Clean Energy Show. Today we've got a very special guest in the building. This is one of my closest brothers who I've known for many years now. We've travelled the world together, we've been through dark times together, but we also celebrate life together. He's definitely inspired me on my journey, and I'm sure you guys can learn a lot from him too. So without further ado, we've got my brother Travis Beckford in the building.
Okay, what's happening?
How's it going, broski?
Good, bro. This is sick. We literally just had a chat, obviously, before we kicked it all off, and seeing how far this has come in such a short amount of time. It's amazing, man. You should be proud of yourself. We're proud of you. Trust me, this is sick. This is actually the beginning of something huge. So I just wanted to say that on camera, off camera.
Yes.
So yes, it's big, man. This is dope.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate your words. I think if people haven't known you on a personal level, I feel like the work you've done so far it could be overseen. You've done a lot of stuff in the background, and I feel like it's going to come to light now. But for the people, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do, bro.
Cool, man. I mean, well, obviously my name is Travis. I'm from West London. We're from West London. And we have a massive passion for all things that are in the creative industry. So we've got the fashion side of things, music, visuals, production, music production, writing bars. Like we came up doing all of those things. Do you know what I mean? So now like we're here at this stage in our life, and we've got, you know, many different options we could pick to what we want to amplify. And I feel like people only see me as maybe one or two things from the industry, whether like an A&R or a manager, or maybe three things like I do events and stuff like that. But it's a lot deeper than that. We came from a certain background, which created a certain mindset, which then created a certain, you know, drive, I guess, to get to this point. Because I never thought, you know, 10, 15 years ago that we would be here in this situation with all these amazing opportunities and things that are coming to us. And we're blessed enough to turn things down, but also be like, you know, blessed enough to accept a lot of these opportunities, you know what I'm saying? So like for me, I'm just a normal guy, I guess, been through some bad things, been through some good things. I'm a father.
Yes.
I'm a proud father.
Yes, he is.
You get me? So big up to Remy anyway, my son.
Come on. We know each other very well. We've known each other for many years, and we've been through a lot of things together. We've always had that connection in the creative space. But we was young when we connected.
Yeah.
Where do you think that drive come from?
I think it came from not having the things we wanted. We was the first generation that really got to know the internet as well. It's like when we was coming up, you had obviously MySpace and Bebo, and then like Facebook came and changed everything. So you're seeing a lot more. But we didn't have those things that I guess we wanted. We saw on the internet, like, okay, we want this, we want that. Those guys over that side are living like that, whether it's wherever in the country, in America, like shining, winning. You get inspired by things like that. Whereas when we were children, we grew up with just word of mouth. And it's funny because me and Marcy was talking about the other day, obviously my brother, and it's like when we grew up, and your friends had all like their own little push bikes, and you're like Remy's age, 8 or 9, for example. And if you couldn't find none of the man them, just knock on their door, or you have to go look for their bikes in their little piles. Oh, look, they must be over there. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is the drive came from knowing we wanted more because we didn't have much. And we had to work with whatever we got. So you could see physically in real time as a young teenager, for example, like, rah, there's much more to life, not just from like films or whatnot. This is like in real time. We can achieve what we want if we put in graft, if we hustle, if we network. And I think as we got a bit older, that was a gift and a curse because the internet was so great. So many great opportunities came from that, you know, Streets Hardest TV, your thing, SBTV with Jams. So many great things came from it for everybody.
For real.
But I think it was more or less just coming from a space of just knowing that we don't have as much as we probably felt we deserved or like other people had a lot of different things. But we had love, we had family, we had unity, we had community, all like the important things. But, you know, like being quite, if I'm being real materialistic, that drive was like, no, I want to get those trainers. I want to look like that as well. I want to feel like I'm leveling up too. So that kind of drove us into a space of being hustlers.
We had that from a young age though, bro.
Yeah,
we was like young teens thinking like that.
Yeah, 100%.
At school, it's from school, like secondary school onwards, it was that really. And I guess you're right, it comes from a place of not having much or wanting more or knowing you deserve more, and not even just for yourself, for your family. I feel like we've always been trying to put on for everyone around us, and we still do that now in the businesses and projects we're working on. What would you say your main focus is right now?
Right now, I just turned 32, as you know, September.
Come on.
So for me, I think my main focus would be just stability, because I haven't had that. Like I've had a lot of great moments, but I haven't had like a clean run, I would say. In other people's eyes, they might think, "Wow, he's done this, and this. That he must be winning." But like within myself, like I know for a fact, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of like healing. There's a lot of things I need to reassess and have that stability for myself and for my son as well, which I'm saying, and not be so like all over the place, like organized chaos. There's always something going on and always a job to do, always something to like, always a fire to put out. Is again what Marcy would say, we're just putting out fires all day. Something will flare up, we've got to put it out. You know, something will come through the emails, we've got to sort it out. I just want a bit more stability now.
Okay, so obviously we've always been working on projects since we were young, and we've been in our creative bag for a long time. What's your opinion on like the way it hasn't happened yet, and you know, hitting hurdles when you think it's about time and we're gonna go now? What's your opinion on that? And like for me, I've kind of got to a space where I can embrace them hurdles now and sort of fuel the fire and see it as, why is this happening for me, not to me? What's your opinion on that?
I think you made a good point, like why are things happening for me and not to me. I think that's like a winner's mentality. Like I never really like complaining about anything. Like if something's happening, I feel like it's happening for a reason. And like hurdles are hurdles, man. Like at the end of the day, doesn't matter if you're Cristiano Ronaldo or whoever, you're always gonna be going through something. That you at the end of the day, you're a human. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I've always been close to a major breakthrough, but maybe I haven't been living in the moment as much. I haven't been living in like what you would say like the now. It's only when I reflect on it and I look back and think, right, that was a big win.
Yes.
Like, and I never look at it sometimes I do, but I only kind of live in that moment for a short moment. So and then I just keep it moving, because I always feel like there's something greater coming. And it all depends on what the goal is at the time.
Yes.
Like right now, my main goal is like getting to the bag. Like I want to get serious paper. Whereas before, for a long time, money was never a thing that I was like concentrating on. It was all about building a brand, building your own personal brand, which is ourselves, creating an ecosystem or like a community where you can funnel things through, whether it's like the future is, whether it's live events or writing camps, to then a brand partnerships, to more visuals, to bigger arenas, all these things. Like there's a method to the madness. So I try not to get too caught up in my own head, because I know that I can achieve anything if I really put my mind to it and I actually focus on it.
Come on.
That's
Big
it.
energy.
That's
Love
true though.
that.
If I said,
Of course.
fuck it, I'm gonna do this for 4 months, I'll just focus on that,
Do you,
and I'll start getting to a place where there's a lot of momentum. Maybe to my own detriment, I focus on at times too many different things, which I've learned because I thought, oh, I could do that, and think opportunities come all the time.
and your mind's always bringing new ideas to the table.
This is it. So
relate
that's
to
what I
that
said,
still.
almost like finding that stability and breaking down my day differently, looking at things differently, and ultimately just focusing a lot on myself. I can't even remember the original question, but what you were saying before, if I'm being completely honest, that's Keir told me about ADHD, so that's probably something that where it is. But
Damn.
I think what I'm trying to say is that the big breakthrough is the fact that I'm here and I'm just doing this, bro.
Yes.
Like, to be honest,
For real.
that's how I feel sometimes.
Yes.
When I think about it, like I go into prisons and go like speak to people in much worse situations than me that I've been through. I'm like, I can't actually believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I have the network that I've got. I can't believe the people that phone me sometimes and like have these talks and conversations about obviously life and business, but like these are like big people, whether it's executives or artists or whoever. I'm like getting off the phone, I'm saying to my brother, "Rah, so and so just called me. I was on the call with them, FaceTime for like an hour." And he's like, "Yeah, bro, this is it. This is you. You're that guy now."
Come on.
And I have
this is it though. It's because you're a grafter, and it's because you seize opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people could learn from you on that
And
one.
I want to kind of clarify because that sounded a little bit egotistical. That wasn't the point. The point is that just being in the present space I'm in for the last 10 years or so now feels like the big breakthrough now. Whereas it didn't feel like that before.
Yeah.
Before it's like, oh, I'm just another guy. I've just come out of jail. I've been given an opportunity at the BBC or whatever it may be. But I've never looked at that as like that was the serious win, or building a platform was, and what's coming from that now, or being a father was the big win. Like, who knows? That's my biggest blessing.
Yes.
More than any amount of dough. We've made mad dough, and we've lost a lot of money, but we've gone platinum. We've been in GQ. We've been Mad magazines and all that, and that to me feels so insignificant in comparison to like looking at Remy. And I look at him, I'm like, all that other shit ain't shit, bro. What are you talking about? I don't care about your hit, bro. You can have your top 10. I've got a kid and he loves me. You know that? He adores me. Like, I'm like his hero.
Yes.
Genuinely. He copies me. My body language, my slang. Like, that's my guy.
Of course he does, though.
So I'm like,
his dad's the guy, bro.
That's more than anything than this other shit. Like, no one cares about the other shit. After a while, it's nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. It's just like your family, your people. That's it. That's the win.
That is the win. And taking it back to when you was a young child and you was in your teens, you collected a win. You won a little something on TV, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Tell us a little bit more about that, bro.
That was crazy. That was a big moment for me. That was arguably one of the biggest. I would say this. It was the first time I ever experienced like a shift in real time, like, for myself.
Okay.
So what I mean is, I remember like the way it came about. It was obviously the Wayne Rooney show. My dad called me. He was like, "Yo, I'll put you forward for this show. It's on Sky. It's with Wayne Rooney." And I wasn't really on kicking ball too much around that time either. I was just on like just street stuff and making music basically. And I was like year 10, year 11. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll put you forward for the show. You got to do the trials. It's local to you. It's going to be in the Haze." I was like, "Oh, this is a bit dead. Like, I'm not really on it." And then everyone was like, "Nah, you got to do it. Like, you dumb. Like, you have to do it." So I was like, "All right, cool." So
shout Pops for that one.
Yeah, shout to my Pops. He's a visionary, man. He always saw those little gaps and opportunities. He was very good at that, especially when it comes to like sports and football, especially. But yeah, I went down to the trials. My mum took me, actually. So big up to my mum.
Yeah, shout mum.
Yeah, I smashed the trials. Like,
of course you did.
I saw a couple of the boys that I knew from the area as well. They were ballers as well.
Okay.
And like it was a great experience, man. And then got through that, and then
how many people?
Big up to Andy Answer as well. He's a real one. Like personally and professionally, we stay close. He was one of the judges who put together the whole show.
Okay. What was his name?
Andy Answer.
Okay.
So it's him, Sue Smith, and obviously Wayne.
Yes.
But to kind of get to the point, I did the trials, ended up smashing it, and then he put me through. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna put you on the show now, and you're gonna be on like filmed on the show." And I was like, bro, I remember going back to the hood, like, this is mad. I didn't even want to say nothing to no one. I kind of just came back. I was like, this is crazy. I'm gonna be on a TV show on Sky One with Wayne Rooney. He just won the Champions League, bro, and the Premier League.
Yes.
I was like, he's like the boy right now. He's like the top, and he's like
He was in his
doing
bag.
thing. He was like the hottest guy.
Yeah.
In the Prem as well as a striker anyway. But it was sick, man, and I had such a great experience. Being under pressure and trying to perform, being in an environment I've never been in. You get to go Liverpool and Manchester. I get to take time off school, and I can feel like the momentum of the whole thing building up. Like, and then it was just crazy, man. By the time it actually aired, I remember I was staying at a friend of mine's house. At the time, me and my mum were kind of going through back and forth a couple of things personally, and I was staying at my brethren's yard. I was watching it with him and his dad, his mum, and his sister. And I remember just looking around the room, and they're just like looking at me.
So you already know what happened. The
I
results.
knew what was happening. I
Did
couldn't
anyone
say
else?
I couldn't say nothing.
So no one.
No, I couldn't say nothing. I told obviously a couple of people, like, you kind of have to keep that on the low. But in school, people were watching it, and I'm going into school. It's crazy now. It's like people were taking pictures of me.
Yeah, and you.
And I was like a bit paranoid about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Was that your first time on TV?
That was the first time I was ever on TV. Have I even been on TV since then? I don't think I have, but
It's
that was
coming up.
way before, like, how the internet was, or how the internet is now. Like, you got all these platforms. It was more or less Facebook, and Facebook was big. Don't get me wrong, that was sick. Like when it first came out, but it wasn't as interactive in terms of like TikTok or what's it, Instagram.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
the
that.
game's changed.
Those platforms can feel quite intense to certain people because it's so much going on. There's so much high energy getting put into there. It can drain you as well.
Do you spend a lot of time on social media?
Only on, I'd say, probably Instagram. I don't really use TikTok too tough, but it's a sick platform though.
Yeah.
And I've seen the benefits when it comes to the future is, and I post a video and it's getting thousands of views and I haven't really done anything. Whereas Instagram's a bit more, I say, bougie. People kind of like, this is what my life's like. And you know, it ain't really like that. You know what I mean? It's cap. But I think the point I'm trying to say is the main shift that came was knowing that you're being recognized on a mass level and feeling that pressure was a lot. Like, it was, like I was like 16 and I'm like famous now. I can't go anywhere. I'll go like McDonald's and there'll be bare people taking pictures of me. I'll be on a bus, people like Sly taking pictures of me. I'm looking at what the f is wrong with these people? And I felt like you're just a kid from the ends, and no one really prepared me for that side of things. And then Jermaine was doing well, and he was doing well with Leeds. So then it became even worse because it's like he's the top boy in League One Championship, probably gonna go to the Prem.
Come on.
And his little brother is like, this new guy is mad, bro. And then obviously we're in the end still.
We say a family full of winners.
Yeah, my family's definitely got some winners in it, 100%. Big up to my family, man.
Come on.
Yeah, they're good people.
So tell me though, when you found out you won, what was that feeling like?
It was a weird one because you had to do the final challenge. Well, I scraped it through, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest. I scraped it through the semis. If I remember correctly, you had to hit these mannequins. And I did so well in the warm-up because you got like a warm-up. You got like these kind of plastic barrels that they put on in certain areas, like on a car, 30 yards away, 15 yards away. And you have to use both feet. I was just smashing it. I didn't even feel like I had any pressure. Like, this is light. I was hitting them all, doing really well. And then when they changed the barrels to like mannequins, I was like, this feels different now. And now like all the family and friends have come. There's the whole crew. Rooney's there watching you, and you just feel the heat. You're like, this is not what it was like 3 hours ago. I'm under pressure now. Do you know what I mean? Big cameras in your face and that stuff. But I scraped it through. And when we got to the final, I remember it very clearly. They put us on the top of this ramp, and he said to me, we're going to put all your names in a hat. It's me, this other guy called Jordan, and he was sick, man. He was like a skillful player. I think he used to play for Birmingham Academy.
Okay.
Another guy called Henry, and he was so dedicated and focused and on it. He was like streets ahead of me. He was like Ronaldo to me, really in good shape, quick feet, powerful. Like I think he could have made it as like a proper baller.
Because you wasn't playing like, was you playing
Bro,
regular
I
football?
was in the end smoking weed,
Yeah, exactly.
drinking,
Yeah, I know you
drinking
was.
bare girls. Bro, when we was 15, 16,
I know.
what was I
Yeah,
doing?
it was
Like,
cool.
I was not kicking ball like that. I was like just kind of local,
Did that
just
make
around.
Did that make you feel like it was just like a natural talent, and it was meant to be?
Yeah, I was obviously naturally gifted at football, but I wasn't disciplined. And I
Yeah.
just didn't care about a lot of things as well.
Mm.
Like, I just cared about making money and like trying to help my mum and
Mm.
be around for my sister and things like that.
Mm.
Like, and make a couple songs, was rapping. But
Yeah.
music back then wasn't popping like what it was now.
Yeah.
As well, we're like some of the first people from West, from my area anyway, that
Mhm.
were rapping, and people
Yeah.
knew like, yeah, them guys could rap. They're kind of hard actually.
Mm.
But I think to get to your point about knowing that I won, was I said to myself, like, Rooney's got his hand in the hat thing and pulling out names, and I was like, in my head, I was like, I know he's just gonna pick me to do it first. I just know. I swear to God, it's lying, I'm dying, bro. I was like, I know I'm gonna have to do it first. And he picked out and he smiled. So I don't know if I said it to him or Andy. Was like, I know they're gonna pick me first. I just know it. He's giving it all of that. He's like, yeah, it's Travis. And I was like, you know what I know? I knew I was gonna have to do it. And then I just thought like, whatever, man. It is what it is. Like, I'm either gonna do well or I'm not. I'm not even gonna think about it. And then I think that was probably the kind of the best that I performed under pressure in that moment. Ended up doing really well. I failed miserably with the shot at the end because I was just knackered at that point. But I had to beat all these different players or whatever. I did quite well. And then I ended up getting sent to the back. After I did my bit, I have to go to the back of the car park by myself. And there's like one security guard. I was like, why have I got to be here? He's like, yeah, you can't watch it. You just have to be here now. I've just got to keep an eye on you. And then I was just sitting there with my hoodie on and they're filming me. And then the other guy, Jordan, came. I think he came second. And he just looked miserable, bro. He just looked, I was there just kind of chilling. It's like, all right, at least I'm happy it's over. It's been going on for months now. And I'm actually happy I ain't got to do nothing no more. He just looked miserable, I'll be real. So sorry, Jordan, but it's true. And then Henry came and he looked miserable. And we wasn't really allowed to talk to each other, but I'm reading their body language, like they kind of up. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, I did all right. I'm like, why are these man so stressed? So anyway, we got back and they did their thing and they did a little ceremony thing and they said, yeah, we're gonna pick you're the winner, innit? And I just in my head I was like, at that point, I was like, yeah, if I get past third place, then I'm gonna win it. And when they said, I think they said it was Jordan came off first in third place. And I was like, yeah, I've definitely won this then. Fuck it. And in my head, I was like, hey, you've won it. You just won it. I couldn't believe it. I was trying to hold it down. But no one told me nothing, bro, I swear. And they said, yeah, you won it. And I just walked away. In my head, I was like almost manifested it. It was so weird. It was like a weird experience. I was like, fucking hell. I was like banging on the door. I can't believe this has happened. My life is just going to change now.
Yeah.
And my sister was there. So she watched me do something crazy. And then a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a special moment. And after, as I said, the momentum just took me to a whole new place.
Proper wins.
Yeah, like you can actually achieve greatness is what I was thinking.
Did you bond well with Wayne?
Yeah, to be fair. Because I was going through something before I even had to go there. No one really knew that. He knew though. But I had a court case before because something was happening in the area. And me and obviously Morgsy, James, he's like my brother, he's like my best friend.
Shout James.
We had a situation with some guys in West Ealing and ended up whatever to them. And then they ended up snitching on us.
No.
And then we got backed.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so I got nicked, innit? I'll be real, I got nicked.
The man's on TV making dreams happen and he's getting snitched on. That's not cool.
I was going through this like case and it was just all long, bro. And like these are saying, yeah, you got to come do this filming on this date. And I'm like, I can't even go. And he was just getting pissed with me. He was like, why can't you come? Like we're already getting you out of school to come. I was like, I've got a court case going on right now. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, like it's mad. I'm not gonna lie, they know about this now. But
yeah. Oh, no,
he was just looking at me different, and he was like, it's like he rated me more. I ain't gonna lie. He was like, yeah, he's 30. I swear, he was like, yeah, he was literally like, all right, well,
I mean,
sort
he's
it
one
out,
to get in
innit?
trouble as well sometimes.
He was just like, sort it out, man. Just do what you got to do to get out of it ASAP. And then we sorted it out, and they just gave me probation.
Okay.
So I was just on probation for like 2.5 years or 2 years or something like that.
So
that was alright.
Fast forward from that point when you just found out you've won, Wayne Rooney Street Striker, catapulted into the game. feeling amazing. Probably, I'm guessing you're feeling like this is it now.
Yeah, that I did. I felt like my whole life was about to change, bro.
And then shortly after, you found yourself on a prison sentence.
Yeah, there was a lot of like back and forth in between that though.
Okay.
Jermaine was trying to get me into to kick ball and move up there.
Okay.
My dad was getting sick and tired of hearing all the madness that was happening.
Yeah.
My mum couldn't really control me. No one really could like not control me, but like there was too many things that were happening in the area. And I kind of actually touched on it very briefly when they came to Hamel Town, the training ground where we was training, and they were asking me all these questions and all like, what does it feel like coming here to train? And all, and I remember saying it feels like a little getaway, or it feels like a little holiday or a little getaway, something like that. Because you come here, there's all this madness happening in that area, like people getting killed, all this madness is going on. So when I come here, I just want to kick ball. You know what I'm saying? So Jermaine and my dad were like, yo, just come up. I think my dad was living in Manchester.
Who was Jermaine playing for?
He was playing for Leeds United.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and I've gone up there a few times to go watch him train and just stay around his crib. And Marcy will come, obviously, my little brother Marley, he lived up north with my dad anyway. So once there was all this madness happening in West Ealing and all that, and all this like kind of street striker stuff was kicking off, they were like, yo, come up. And Jermaine was like, I'm going to get you some trials. So it was kind of like, what's that word? Like nepotism in a way. But he was the top boy in it, and his little brother just won a nationwide competition.
Come on.
And people like were watching it, and like, he actually is a baller. So I was getting these opportunities in different clubs were looking at me like, oh, what are we gonna do with him? We're gonna give him a shot. But Leeds were on it. They were like, bring him. And it's mad how that happened as well, because we went to see Jermaine play a training game, and the manager, he was like, oh, I want you to sprint from here like 30 meters. And I was like, with my dad, I was like, what's he want me to like sprint for 30 meters? And I'm wearing like Air Forces or high top Huaraches or something. It's cold. We're in like 4 Park just chapping, bro. We're in like Leeds.
You say you take the boy out of the hood.
That's hey, I was there with my dad, and I ended up sprinting like 30 meters, and I sprint back, and I was dusting.
Man's running the Air Forces.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, he's gonna go into training, and I was just like, this is another little shift for me. So
Yeah.
I was training with them, but I knew I wasn't ready. And it's ironic because I spoke to Marcy about this the other day again. I knew I wasn't ready for it. Ended up getting injured genuinely, like in a training match as well. And just my whole leg was just mashed, like done out. I remember going back to the hotel after, and I was just crying, bro. I was like, bro, this is like the chance for me kind of thing. And then that whole football thing, at that point, there was something in me. I was like, am I even going to do this? Because I really love music, though. Like, that's my thing. Do you know what I mean? Marcy is a rapper. I remember just sitting in there, and I remember phoning a few people. I phoned Reese and I phoned Lorena. Obviously, we both know both of these people. And I called them, and I was like, I'm just going to come back to the ends and do music. And they're like, you're bugging, like, what are you talking about? It was mad. But yeah, that was a massive turning point that led me into taking music more seriously and just trying to find myself away from football, because Jermaine was flying for so long. He was flying from playing for Harrow and Woodstone, like killing it locally, to them killing it at Leeds for like however many years it was. And I didn't want to be like under his or behind his shadow, under his shadow.
Okay, you wanted to...
I wanted to just do my own thing.
Yeah,
I've always been very independent. And I was like, I don't want to be like a Gary Neville and a Phil Neville. Like,
Did you feel like you was more fulfilling your soul with the music than football then?
Yeah, because I like to express myself. Like, and that was from as a kid, drawing football kits, designing them. I remember designing one when I was younger at my dad's house, and it had like the Nike tick in the corner. I've never seen a kit like that. And then all these years later, obviously Arsenal did it. They never stole the idea. But I remember drawing like, oh, it looks sick if it had the Nike tick in the corner. My dad was like, that's a good idea. And then Arsenal did it. They had the burgundy kit.
Visionary.
But this is these type of things. I was thinking to myself, like, I like expressing myself. I like rapping. I like making beats. I used to make beats when I was like 13, 14. I used to go to Bim's house on Greenman. We used to rap in like a headphone. Like, we used to go Screwface's yard at the beginning in Uxbridge and go shut down raves and that. Like, through the roads. And we're like 13. We're not even meant to be there.
Music game's changed, bro.
It's changed so much, bro.
That was very local. now like you feel like you know people in like the whole world.
It's true.
That's mad.
It's mad. Like when you think about it, that's getting to my point about the people who I know and what they've achieved, and when I'm speaking to them, and it's not like, oh, I know that rapper or that singer, but it's crazy how I'm talking to them, and they've achieved all of this success, and we're just talking on a normal level. Sometimes when I'm driving back home, I'm just like to myself, I'm like, I can't believe I just sat with this person and we're rapping about some real shit for time, and they're just a normal person. Do you know what I mean? But the music always had a hold on me, and it was something I always wanted to pursue. I always was like kind of 1 foot in football, 1 foot in music, and my natural course was to continue that. And then I went to prison at 18, which was kind of like a blessing in disguise, really, because I was already doing too much on the roads at that point. Like it was getting out of hand. It was getting like way too dangerous for everyone, including myself. And I started breaking away from certain like friendship groups that I grew up with, and I was just doing my own thing and bringing in other people and not telling no one what I'm doing either. It's like no one would have known. But, oh yeah, I just saw Travis Beckford with him. He was cool, and then that night I'm doing something brazy with people you don't even know. Do you know what I mean? And going to jail was the best thing that happened to me, because it made me realize everything. It was like, again, another major shift. Even though it was definitely rock bottom, it was definitely like, I can't believe I've fucked up so badly. Now I'm in a space where the only way is up for me. And that was kind of refreshing. When you get past that point of like, yeah, I'm in jail now for years, you get to a point of peace almost. And I was like, right, if I come in out of jail, what am I going to do? Who is Travis Beckford then?
So did you feel more at peace being at that point where you knew the only way was up in comparison to winning Wayne Rooney Street Striker and feeling like it's all on you now?
I didn't even want that though.
That's mad interesting, bro.
It's like I didn't go looking for it. There was people there that they come from all over the whole country. They were crying because they didn't get in. I didn't give a shit, respectfully. I didn't care. If I won, I'm sorry, Andy, because I love you and that, but I didn't care, innit? I was just like, all right, I'm here. This is sick. It's a sick experience. There's cameras and all that, but I just didn't care. I was just like, how are we gonna make money?
Yeah.
I didn't ever think, I'm gonna be a pro baller at that point.
Did you not think?
I loved it.
You didn't think you was gonna be a
pro?
pro?
I had a shot. It was like 70-30, no.
But okay, so, and you say music was your passion, but where the game was at that point when you won that football competition, did you feel like you could make millions from music?
No, but I thought like I could become someone I wanted to be more in music.
Okay.
Like football was I kicked ball since I was younger than my son, like every day. And I knew I was good. I'll do things of like, that's not what someone my age should be doing. They'll put me playing with the bigger boys and all that. Play county, district, England boys are looking at you. Like it's the same story, innit? Like I just never thought. There was a period of my time, maybe from 13 to about, or maybe 12 to 14, 15, where I actually really wanted to be a footballer. Other than that, I was just kicking ball like on the estate or in the park or whatever. But rapping and making music was something I always wanted to do, because I love the fact that I can create my own music videos. I can wear what I want. I can rap about what I want or try and sing, but I can make the beats. That was more exciting for me. I got to a point where I was in school and I was in a music room at lunchtime with one guy who plays guitar and I'm rapping. Just me and him. I'd go and bun a zoo in like the back of the field and go, yo, come. His name is Nathan. Bad man, he used to play a Spanish guitar. A bit weird, but no offense, bro. But he was a bit like a loner, innit? He's like, no, come, bro. I used to sit with him.
Yeah, but you say you was like that a little bit, though.
Yeah, I used to rap and write bars, and he would do these loops. I even brought him years later to Sony when I joined I come out of jail years later.
Travis never forgets no one.
And he was like, I was like, yo, come, you were dope back in the day. And he was doing this thing, he used to do busking. I just knew that was more what I wanted to do. The football thing was cool, but I enjoyed smoking weed and drinking and that too much as well, if I'm being honest. I like partying and I wasn't disciplined like that.
So the normal generic distractions basically got you at that age. But I feel like also some would say you're supposed to be doing that at that age as well. Do you know what I mean? That's your age where you're going to be partying and whatnot. But
I guess
take it let's take it back a little bit then. So you've just won this program now.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting in a cell and you're feeling like, what did that feel like?
It was like the death of the old me. I knew I was gonna get birded as well. I just knew. Like it wasn't. There was no way I was gonna do like 6 months. I knew I was gonna do minimum 3 to 5 years. I just knew that.
And for
My
the,
solicitor told me straight away as well. Because I asked her. She was like, to keep it real, you're gonna get probably minimum serve 5 years. I was like, oh, fucking hell, this is gonna be a long time. But knowing that I had all that time to kind of recreate myself and find myself was a blessing.
wow.
But the stress of it was that my sister was mad sick. My mum was obviously going through a lot. My little sister's very young, out of like all of my siblings. And Jermaine was just got signed to Everton. So I'm like in Feltham with my Cody. We're sitting down, I remember it, we're sitting down watching Match of the Day. And I was thinking to myself, fucking hell, it was maybe like 3 months in, and we was watching Match of the Day, and I swear to you, I'm not lying. I didn't even know that at this point he was getting to that point where he just broke through. And I know that Leeds just, I think they just got promoted to the Championship, or they were in the Championship. It was something like they did really, really well. And then he left them after like 7 years, 6 years to join Everton, right? So I'm sitting in my room with my Cody, and we're watching. I support Chelsea, obviously, since I was a kid.
Come
I'm
on.
watching Chelsea play, or Everton versus Chelsea at home. Brother, Jermaine's playing. I didn't know that. I haven't spoken to Marcy.
No
I spoke
way.
to my dad. I ain't spoke to my mum that day. I'm just there, and I'm there chilling like with my. And I'm thinking, no, that's mad. That's my brother. And the worst is, yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
ended up scoring.
I swear he scored.
He ran the whole length of the pitch.
I
bro.
remember that.
He nicked the ball from Lampard, yeah, or Ashley Cole, something like that. Anyway,
Yes.
and he ran from like the halfway line
Bro.
through John Terry,
Remember
everyone,
that.
and dinked it over check, bro.
Oh.
I was in my cell. If I'm lying, I'm dying, bro. Yeah, I was in my cell
Bro.
watching this. Like, I cannot believe this situation.
Yeah.
I can hear people, because in Feltham there's two sides. There's like, I think it was the A side, which is for the youngins, under 16s or whatever, and there's the B side, which I think was the one we were at. And I was 18 at the time. I could hear everyone banging their doors all around the whole wings. From my wing, I was on Nightingale. I could hear the whole wing banging their doors, going nuts, because people are betting, they're watching it like this is like live TV for us.
Mhm.
And I couldn't believe it. I still couldn't believe it. I had the glove come upstairs, and he slammed open my flat. He's like, "You're Beckford?" I was like, "Yeah." "Is your brother Jermaine Beckford?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" Bang, slapped the flat.
No.
Walked off. And my Cody was looking at me like, "Yeah, he's got a point, man."
Oh.
You fucked up.
Bro.
And I remember just feeling so small
Oh.
and insignificant. And
He
like,
knew that as well, though.
Yeah.
He
and
knew
I
he was going to feel like
and
that.
I was just like, "Bro," and I come out. I remember going downstairs in the morning, and we used to get hot breakfast, like eggs and beans and that kind of shit. And the guy goes to me, "Oh, your brother was the one who scored yesterday." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why are you here, bro?"
Oh.
He's like, "You fucked up, bro."
I bet. Oh.
And I'm there, like, and there's bare man watching. I'm just looking at him. I was like, "Bro, you don't even know me. You know, like, you're trying to tell me why I don't know you. I'm not asking you why you're here. You don't know my
100%,
fucking
bro.
life, bro. You just
Yeah.
see my brother doing well. That means nothing."
But that must have burnt you inside, though.
It
That would have.
crushed me. It didn't even
Yeah.
burn me. It crushed me. I was so happy for him,
Yeah, of course.
but we weren't communicating at that time.
No.
To the point his wife wrote me a letter when I was like a year or something in. As
Mm.
much as I was grateful, it pissed me off, because I'm thinking that I ain't spoke to my brother for time.
Yeah.
Like, not to kind of throw him under the bus, but
Yeah.
I made my mistakes, but I was living in a different headspace and a different world.
Yeah.
So to him, he was in his own world as well. He was focusing on being a footballer. He had his own family and things going on. And I'll just chat to Marcy, but I remember phoning him off the tizzy when I got to ISIS,
Mm.
and I phoned him, and there was like 4 or 5 men in the room, and we was all taking turns like to use the phone, look out the door and whatever on association. And I called him, and he was like, "I just want to let you know, like, everything will be all right." Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing the football thing. I
Mm.
need to, rectify this situation basically. And it's just all love, innit? At the end of the day, I couldn't come see you. I'm kicking ball. I'm traveling
Yeah.
all the time. And I was like, I get it. Like, I'm not mad at you, but I'm all right. I'm phoning to let you know I'm good, innit? At the end of the day. And he was cool with it, man. And he ended up doing well, had a great career, achieved some amazing heights.
Mhm.
I managed to see him do things that I never thought people would even achieve where we're
No,
from.
he smashed it, man.
Like, he done so
He
well.
smashed it, bro.
He
Coming from where we're
scored
coming
some
from
of
as
the most
well.
iconic goals for Leeds. And he's just done so well, bruv. And I couldn't be more happier for him. You know what I mean? He's really done it. He took it all the way from that estate kid to like playing in the Prem and scoring multiple goals again, scoring at Anfield in the Premier League, scoring at Stamford Bridge. I went with my mum to watch him at Stamford Bridge.
That's
bro.
mad.
He scored in front of me. It was 1-1. Drogba scored and he scored. I was like, I can't believe this shit. With all these Everton fans and that, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's a G, man. He's a real one.
So if there was someone who was getting caught up in the street life, getting caught up in gang culture, doing bits and pieces, what piece of advice would you give them?
Just think about what you're doing, man, and why you're doing it, and who you're doing it for. Is it ego? Is it because someone's like, if they're forcing you, it's not love anyway. But like, you can remove yourself from situations with simply just like taking a moment to breathe, bro. Like, I've seen so much wild shit and done so much wild stuff. Like, you can really change your life in seconds for good and bad. And if you don't have the opportunities you think you've got, then you're just either being naive and lazy, bro. And I don't even want to like shoot a man down like that who's lived in a rough area or grew up on a block where it's cracking. Like, I get it, like, fully. Your brother's been jailed, your brethren got killed, and I fully get it. But it's a whole new world now. We've got fucking ChatGPT and AI. Like, you, man, they can make so much bread out here legitly, and there's so many examples of it as well. People who have thought, nah, I'm gonna do Harry Pinero from Peckham. He's doing a YouTube thing. You've got all these different type of people who are making dough, being a manager, being an artist, booking artists. You can do security. You can really change your life, bro. All this street shit, running around like trying to bore a man up for what? Unless it's something, and don't get me wrong, because if someone killed my brother, I'd have to really reconsider everything in my life, I'll be honest. Like, I'll be real. I get it. But if it's over petty shit and it's not that deep for you, like, okay, you might be a bit broke, but you have to just hustle. And you have to use that motivation, you know?
Where do you
use
feel
it as motivation, I mean.
Where do you feel like it's gone now, like the street culture now, and like what we was going through when we was younger? Obviously, we've grown up now, and things are still popping. Like, do you think?
Worse now,
Do you think it's got worse?
Yeah,
I feel like it's got
it was
worse.
mad. Don't get me wrong, it was mad. Like, there was a lot of mad things happening.
Do you think it was
Now it's different, man. These young bucks, I don't know what's going on.
They got. I feel like obviously we was okay. So I feel like I would say they're getting younger, but we was pretty young when we got caught up in it.
Very young.
Yeah, we was young. I feel like when we must have looked like how we look at the kids now. In fact, what you're rolling with that.
This is it. It's like a fine line where you can come across as like preachy. And I remember like trying to speak to one young guy who was in the studio around our area when I came home. I was trying to talk to him, and I remember I was putting on my trainers outside the studio. There's like a door and the main door, and I heard him bitching about me to my brethren. And it was his little cousin. I'm not even gonna hot him up because I don't even really like him that much, to be honest. Now, like, he's proven to me from that 16-year-old boy to where he is now. I just saw how his life was gonna play out. And the reason I'm saying that is because I was saying to him, bro, all of this street shit, don't be looking at what these men are doing. You're in the studio, record. Like, I'm at A&R, I work at Sony, Epic Records. I'm telling you to do this music thing, and you're trying to be trapping and doing that. Bro, you could get a night job and just work with the music shit, network. You got social media, you can do it. And when I was putting on my trainers to leave, to go back home, he started bitching and moaning. Oh, why is he preaching? He's coming here trying to tell me what to do. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going to go in there and hot him up because he's a kid to me. He's like 16. I was like, he's lost now. And no one in that room fully backed it for me either. They're like, oh, you know, he's just come home. He's trying to help you, but he's doing well. He's in Sony. He's like, yeah, I'm not even trying to hear that though. And then what? You get bored up. I see you in a hospital. You want to trap. You get nicked. You get moved to. Now your life is only getting a bit better now, which is good. Better late than never. But you could have avoided all of that if you just actually took on the information.
So
what I'm saying,
talking about turning a negative to a positive, let's move on to the future is.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. That whole platform was I'm so proud of that I think it's actually, before we jump on that, I think it's important to kind of say about the street thing before we move on. That if the young people actually really genuinely look at themselves and hold themselves accountable, you can really change your life, bro. As hard as it is,
It's
and
hard.
it might take long. You don't want to seem like that guy in your area, and all the man them are on it. But I can assure you, I've seen so much and seen the guys who are in jail and they go through a terrible time.
Do you know?
You know what I'm saying?
You know that obviously you was giving that guy a piece of advice.
Mm.
I don't really remember getting that advice from no one. Do you?
Marcy did give me advice, but no one else really.
Nah.
Marcy was doing his music thing as well, but he like there wasn't really. And my dad, even though he wasn't living in London, like I would speak to him maybe like once a month or something. He would always try and go back to like the football analogies and like play your position, and like he was very smart with how he tried to communicate with me. But there was no one that was that put their arm around you and
Nah.
say, bro, you should be really doing this or do that. Like he was just free to just do what you wanted to do, innit, at the end of the day.
Do you think that's clearly why we strayed away and got caught up into stuff?
Yeah, definitely. But I also feel like just situations we couldn't really it wasn't, I don't want to sound like that sounds a bit moist, but I was gonna say it wasn't really our fault as well. Like with the family stresses and things like that. They were just there. We kind of just grew into that. And again, when you're thinking about it, I don't have much. I want more. My family want more. So you're forced in a way to make certain decisions. And I guess me speaking like trying to be a bit more like level-headed now and talking to the kids like, yeah, there's other options. But back then there wasn't really that many options.
Well, you wouldn't have heard that,
You've
bro.
got bare options now.
Yeah.
You could literally say, do you know what? I'm actually going to try my best to move out this area. And it's all sounds so much easier said than done. Like, I get it. Trust me. Like I've lived it. I moved out of the area. I moved to Manchester when I was 14, bro. I lived there till I was 15. It's like the only brown person in my area. Like, for real. Coming back to Ealing, because Sabrina was sick. Come back to West Ealing. And then winning that Wayne Rooney show. Like, I've taken that leap of faith. Go find an auntie who lives in Luton or something, or where it's bad everywhere. But I'm just saying, try to get out of your area, or at least try to take this fucking music thing or films or something seriously. Because running around with all these ZKs or whatever, zombie knives or whatever, running around with all these mad burners, and you're gonna get birded. The police are gonna let you carry on doing it until one of you get bagged, and then you're all bagged. And how many people you seen? There's like 12 man, 8 man, 4 man. All these encro charges, everyone getting mad. You know, mad birds people are getting now. Mad numbers,
But
bro.
what do you think? What could we do as a like say as a country to change that, or even as a whole?
You have to just invest in them, but they have to want to do it themselves as well. That's what I'm saying. It has to be, you have to hold yourself accountable. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I say to man when I go into prisons or I chat to anyone, the man them, my mum, my son, everyone. You have to hold yourself accountable. And that means looking for those opportunities. You have to actively be like, that's dead, bro. I'm not trying to be standing on a block all day, shotting, smoking weed. Like, I'm going to actively try and make an actual LinkedIn account.
Yeah, I know, but it's still too...
For a starter.
Yeah, still two opportunities you're trying to, you're still looking at things on the road and there's still opportunities.
I hear you. And I guess it is a difficult one. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not trying to come across as that preachy guy. I'm just trying to, because there's only so much you can cram into this show just talking. If we had one show just talking about that, I'm sure we could find out or peel back the layers. I'm just saying, at the face of it, hold yourself accountable. And that same energy you're putting in to go and looking for next man because your brethren got rude or he had a fight with someone or he brought up your brethren. I get it. I've been there. I've done the same shit that these men are all on. Like, I've actually lived it and done it myself. And I think looking back on it, why wasn't all the man them coming together talking about how we're going to make dough legitly? We never had one conversation about that. But we got 15, 10, 20 man on one block, 5 man on one block, wherever you are, in groups, in parks, all talking about smoking weed, getting big bits, nothing positive about anything. Talking about the weekend, going linking girls. But these men have got social media, they've got AI, they've got the brain power to do it because there's transferable skills in there.
Mm.
If you're a good businessman and you can build a line and you can do this, you can do that, you can network.
Mhm.
You're doing it in all the wrong ways, bro. And look at all these great examples of people who have gone on to do amazing things, and platforms like The Future Is that create opportunities for you to come, sit down, listen, learn, network, find like-minded people for free,
Mm.
to come and listen to someone talk about their journey, get their email, and just be like, cool, go onto YouTube and say, how do I become a professional in the music industry?
Well, this is what I was going to ask you. Like,
Like,
if from your experience,
it'll break it down for them, is what I'm saying.
mm,
We didn't have that. Like, there's so much information now. Like, you can't ignore that fact.
there's a lot of artists that do though. Even if you look at just music in general, like from your experience, what would be a good bit of information you could give an artist right now that believes in themselves but just don't know where to go right now?
To go on the internet and ask the questions.
What, like what? AI,
If you're, not even that.
YouTube.
Just ask the questions. If you want to be an artist,
Mm.
bro, and we could have done it because we had YouTube and things like that back then,
Yeah.
but it was a different world. There wasn't so many different, and again, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because you could go into a library and read music publishing for dummies or whatever it may be, or music management for dummies. But if you're an artist and you want to be a rapper and you want to get into the game, find the first 3 people who you really, really like, whether it's Central C, whether it's Fredo, Skepta, and just research everything they've done, how they did it, all the videos and all the credits, and research all of the people involved, type in their name and just do it that way. And you just learn so much in real time. I had to do it. I didn't know what an A&R was. I just got plucked and thrown into it and had to learn on the job very quickly.
So do you feel like the formula to become a well-known artist, if you've got what it takes, is quite easy?
I think it's more easy now than it's ever been.
Wow, okay. Game's wide
It's
open.
like 2015 when Stormzy that was coming through. Section Boys, 2015, 2016. We never had that before. Before that, we had grime. Like, that was mainstream, is what I mean. With Wiley and like all these songs, whatever. Dizzy. And then you had the golden era of rap.
Yeah.
And he was part of that when you had Tef and K Coke and
I remember, great, yeah.
Joe Black,
The whole era.
Marks, Mashtown, Hollow Man.
I missed
Blade.
that era.
That was the serious.
That's
That
the
was
era.
like when everything was changing, but there was no success in it in terms of like financial gain. The man them were just doing what
They
they're
had the
doing,
vision
rapping. They had the vision, but they couldn't get out of what they were doing. The infrastructure wasn't there. We're talking about kids in today's world who are 13, 14, 18, whatever, 20. They're not kids, but you know what I mean. And they want to be a rapper. They want to be an artist. You've got so many examples now of people who've done great things that you can learn about how to, be the best version of yourself.
I feel like if I look at the artists that have done well now, that were like in the game back in the day when we was involved, I feel like the main thing they did was taking opportunities when they can. And it was there. A lot of people just didn't see the vision. I remember like working with few different artists and I could just see they was on it. Like they would travel all around the country.
100%. Marcy was one of them.
Marcy was one of them. Even Stormzy, I was working with Stormzy back in probably 15 years ago now, just 12, 15 years ago. And he was traveling everywhere to do whatever he needed to do. And then the next year he bust through.
That's it.
And I saw the work rate and I was like, damn, that's what needs to be done.
100%.
And then a few other people started doing it. I was thinking, that's what you need to do. I guess
That's
people
like
are
life,
lazy,
though,
isn't it?
That's like life, though.
Yeah.
You have to put in serious amounts of effort to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. That's like, again, going back to the thought, these guys are looking at the trap stars in their area. These trappers didn't just make it like this. They put a lot of effort and time and energy into it. That's what I'm saying, though.
Make a plan.
Make a plan. They did their networking. They did their business plan. They didn't one day wake up to buy cars, watches, jewelry. They were hustling, being bosses. So if you want to use that as an analogy to be successful in your area, you could put that same amount of energy and effort, or at least half of it, into something legit, is what I'm saying. I know everyone has their own situations in their area, and it's peak shooting, stabbings, all this madness going on. There's crackheads everywhere, bro. I get it. Like, come from the same place. I'm just saying, you've got a lot of examples now of people who've done great things in film,
mud.
fashion, TV. Look at Trapstar. Look at Hoodrich.
Coming from
What
the
he
mud.
paid. Look at Ashley Waters. Look at
Yeah.
Storms. Look at YB's and Sench. YB's was in jails himself. He
Yeah.
came out and learned how to do whatever he was doing, whether it was, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm sure he was doing trading or something, or learned about watches. He learned about this music management thing, hit up Sench, and now look. Like the point is there's so many now there's so many opportunities for you to flourish if you put yourself in that position to educate yourself and hold yourself accountable.
In the rap game, who would you say is who's been the most influential rappers in the last 5 years?
For me or across the board, like
Your opinion.
me.
Yeah, coming from
mostly
England.
for me, it's so easy. I said this the other day. My favorite rapper for the last, I'd say, 4 years is hands down easily been Potter Paper. I was listening to Potter's tape.
He's so cool.
It's, do you know what it is? It's
His
more or
journey,
less. It's more or less about like what I said, holding yourself accountable and then putting in the work to make it happen.
He's
He
been
was doing his thing on the road
back
clearly,
in the day, young.
but he was applying himself and he's investing in himself, and he's had probably more hurdles out of most of the mainstream rappers and had major success.
We were talking about hurdles though.
He's a G, bro. I
Yeah.
told him as well, he's a G. He's definitely someone who is talented. He deserves all of the flowers and the opportunities
Yes.
that he's getting. There's many people I can name. Like I really fuck with Young's Tef as well.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Like, he was like my favorite rapper growing
We've been
up.
hitting Young Tef's been the guy from
Boost as well.
Boost.
Boost has had
Yeah,
to go through
Boost,
a lot.
Tef.
He's
definitely.
he's come out the other side and doing really well. There's so many people I can name who I rate, and I don't want to leave people out. But if we're talking about the most influential artist, rapper who speaks for a generation, would be Potter easily,
Okay.
hands down.
Yes.
People in jail, for young people our age and older, he's very good at putting his words together. His last album was probably one of the best albums we've had musically in a long time. I think the one before that, which was very musical, I would say what Huss's project, Big Conspiracy. That was the last album where I was like, the level has been risen. Dave's obviously up there. Don't get me wrong, he's super talented, but Dave is a different animal to a Huss or a Potter. Like these guys come from the streets. Like I don't think Dave come from a rough area and that, but he wasn't like going in and out of jail, and people trying to kill him and whatever else, and just like things these men are rapping about, like being fully active with their lines and doing their thing. But there's so many men who I rate and respect, and I've got time for all of them. I like most of the scene. I think it got a little bit saturated though, and it's going through a phase now where like things are changing drastically in the buildings. They're shrinking. Loads more opportunities for people to be independent and do their thing. Great artists are gonna come from that, I'm sure.
Okay, so for the people, break down a little bit more about the Future Is and what you're working on there.
So the Future Is it's a platform that me and my guy Ash, he's a music manager, but we started it.
Shout out Ash.
Yeah, he's a G, man. We started it, I think 2018. We just literally, I was inspired by another friend of mine in the industry called Priye. He ran the Strawberries and Cream Festival.
Yeah.
And I said to Ash, I was like, bro, Priye's killing it. He's got his job at Sony, but he's got his festival. He's like going to go super clear. Like, we need to create something where we can control it and we can just like do our thing, you know, and grow from it and network and find new talent, create a space for people in the industry to come together and, you know, communicate and stuff like that. So the platform was built or born 2018, and ultimately it's like it was a seminar based event. So we would have like people in the music industry will come and sit down like a panel and they will talk about their journey, and it would be a little bit different to like what the ultimate seminar was. You know, that was what Kwame built, and it was sick. Like it still is sick, and it's one of the strongest platforms for like people to learn and listen.
What platform is that?
It's called Ultimate Seminar.
Okay.
So I said to Ash, we should do like the Ultimate Seminar, but I Love Live, like blended together. So I Love Live was a sick platform. They had like, I think who is it? Like Ed Sheeran, all these amazing people. What was that girl's name? Jessie J. Like, and these people just came up through these platforms, like doing open mics. So we just blend the two together. So I'm an A&R. I work in the industry. He's a manager. we can put on for new talent. I'm always hearing about new talent, but I know everyone as well. So the first ever event was called The Future is Female. And that was sick. It just banged off, bro. Like there was a high demand for it. We did it in Covent Garden at a place called the Hospital Club. That's closed down now, which is a shame. Sick venue. And that was the first one we ever did, bro. And then ever since then, it's grown. It's gone from strength to strength. We've done events down at like in the Sony building, in Box Park, Royal Albert Hall, some brand partnerships like with Nike and TikTok and Sony, and just we've done quite a lot, to be fair, with it. And I'm so proud of it because although the events were free and at times you wasn't making any dough off of it, it was more for like the people. Again, going back to my thing of like when I was coming up, there was no one doing this for me, for us. There wasn't anything like that happening. So there was that passionate give back element. And then obviously besides that, it was more about trying to find the next star and trying to put them on, give them a chance. And people then went on and got a deal, or they got label meetings, and like A&Rs would come and watch them perform. And then I said, oh, why don't we start doing writing camps? And after about a year or so, Ash was more focused on doing management. So he was just like, I want to concentrate on this. He's managing some great people. And I just said to my brother, like, I'm not going to let it die. I'd rather just do it myself. And I was doing a lot of the heavy lifting myself anyway, from like inviting people, the graphic design, getting the camera team, getting the presenters, the panels and all that kind of stuff. But the reason I'm so proud of it is because it's something that I can say safely, like, this is my thing. And we haven't done much in the last year. When I say we, I mean myself, Marcy, I know you've been involved in it as well, because I always wanted to have that give back element, but at the same time, I wanted to do something on a like huge scale. And I can't really say too much about it now, but there's like big things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like there's big things happening.
Big things happening.
That are going to be happening in 2025. And I think people are going to be like, right, I didn't see that coming. Because it's not just a UK thing now.
I told you, ticking time bomb, bro.
It's going to take off proper. So I'm looking forward to that. And
I'm looking forward to it, bro.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's been a long time coming.
Because ultimately the goal is to help young people get in the game. But at the same time, I want to like affect change in my own way. Like I want to put records together and put it out myself. I want to do things around the world. I don't want to just be in the UK. It's a big market. Do you know what I mean?
You're going to make music?
I always make music, man. I can't help it. There's something in me. Yeah, it depends what you say by making music, because for me, I love rapping and I know I can rap. I've got a lot of things to say, but it's just about packaging it right. And I said to my brother, he's like, and Semtex always gets onto me. He's like, oh, it's just cat, man. Just put it out. Like, you're talented, put it out. Buck says it to me.
And you got the formula, bro.
And to be fair, I know I got things to say and I want to say it the right way. But I guess maybe because I was always in like the label setup, or I was working at the BBC, or I just wasn't where I wanted to be in my life. There was something going on, or something that was feeling like it was holding me back from really expressing myself and being vulnerable. Because that's two ways that can kind of go.
Yeah.
People look at it and think, this guy's actually nuts.
Yeah. Like, do you feel like that would have a negative effect on your
at times? Because when I'm writing things, when I'm writing things, I'm saying like stories or something that's happened to me or what I've done, and I'm not glorifying it, but it's like I'm talking about it.
You're like, they can't hear this.
they wouldn't even know that's the kind of things that we were doing. It's only now, like, because of the interview with Adrian Sykes on Did You Know thing. That was the first time I ever spoke about anything, and he's asking me personal questions about my life.
I think people will respect your journey though, bro. Like, of course, we've done things that we all regret. Not even regret, but...
Do you know what I need to do? Sorry to just cut you out, bro. I just need to just stop being so concerned about what people are thinking. I
was going to say this, bro. Do you feel like right now, your answer was like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to... And you started talking about what people are going to think. Do you feel like there's... Do you feel like you're procrastinating on it? Do you feel like you care too much about what people think? Do you feel like... And do you feel like you're going to get to a point knowing that you're... Like, for me personally, you're one of the coldest rappers that I know. And it's always been that. And the man then will speak for that one as well. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just not even coming from me. Do you feel like you might get to a point when you're like, we're older and we're like, okay, cool, we might be on a yacht or whatnot, and you haven't released no music? Do you feel like you'll regret that?
Out of everything, yeah.
Yeah, because you remember, let's go back to something. You had that dream that everyone wanted to become a football player, and everyone wanted that growing up. Do you know what I mean? That was the dream. We was in the park, this in the cage, doing what we're doing. You had that there, and you had thoughts when you was in that moment to seize it, and you was like, nah, I want to be involved in music.
Yeah.
And now we're at a point now where, bro, you send me music all the time. And it's getting better and better and better. I'm like, bro, you're talking about packaging. I'm like, you couldn't package it any better. Do you know what I'm saying? And you couldn't be at more of a stronger point in your life, bro, mentally.
Appreciate it. I feel like, again, that there's been a shift in my life recently, and I feel good about just things in general. Like, we've been through a lot, innit? I had to go through a lot, and things that I'm saying at the time, it just didn't feel right. It didn't. My son was younger, and I know I'm like 32 now. It's funny because I spoke to Semtex about this in Sony, and he was talking about rappers, and I was like, "Bro, I feel like I'm not really at that level to be rapping at this certain age." And he was like, "You're bugging. Like, there's people out there that started late. That Future started when he was 31, putting out music. What are you talking about? Like, it can happen for you if you want it." And again, to kind of get to another side of it is that I don't care as well. I care so much about everything, but I just don't care.
Okay, yeah.
So it's one of them ones. It's like, why am I holding back so much if I don't really care what people think of me anyway?
Do you know what the game changed? I was thinking about this, another thing as well, because we're obviously, when we was kids, when we was like 15 years ago, listening to music, we'd be like, okay, cool. We would never listen to someone who's like maybe 35, 40 rapping. But now you think all the rappers are that age and they're still rapping. So that perspective's changed.
Yeah, 100%. All of the like sickest rappers are all at that age now.
What's your opinion on like what's going on at the moment in the news of all this like high-end music industry stuff and these parties and that? Like,
oh, what, like the whole Diddy thing? Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Like, I don't really. That's fuck, man. I don't know what to say about it because it's not really the world that I live in. It's not like over here.
Yeah.
But what I would say about what's happening over here is that it's going to be a very interesting 2 years because, as I said, the labels are shrinking. People are losing their jobs. Everything is becoming smaller. There's not much budget. It feels now like what I think it would have felt like after the kind of grime explosion when like Chip was doing his thing and it dying for time. And then it only started really picking up again 2014, 15, 16, Section Boys, Stormzy, Fredo, Dave, Georgia Smith. That wave was when it really bang kicked. And then 2017, Tion Wayne, Hardy, and all the rest of them, Notes, Be Young. The game's changed, man. People, and that's not really a bad thing because the opportunities will come from it as well. But at the same time, this is the best time for us to be, like, we're young people, aren't it, at the end of the day. For us and our age group, I don't even want to put an age limit on it. Fuck that. We're globally in such a great space to create magic now. Like, film-wise, TV-wise, music-wise. There's so much that we can do now. And I'm looking forward to being in that space of being a creative again. And really looking forward to, like, putting together projects that mean a lot to me without having that kind of leash, label, and thinking, oh, the president's going to say this if he hears that, or he's going to say this and whatever. I remember sending music to a guy called Austin in the industry. He's like, bro, you're cold. You need to make a decision. What are you going to do? You're going to rap or you're going to A&R?
I feel like you've had this in your head for like...
And Morgan Key said the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'll do A&R because I just had a kid. Got my flat now. I'm 23. Come out of jail like a year and a bit ago before that. And I felt so insecure because I was like, I didn't have any stability. I didn't know what I was going to do that could help me build my career apart from be an A&R. So I was giving that everything. I rapped to Morgan Keys one time and he's just like laughing in a boardroom in Epic. Like, bro, you're bugging. Like, why are you not putting out music? You're moving mad. Like, this is dumb. And I remember saying to him, like, when the time's right. He's like, bro, the time's now. Let's do it. And that was years ago. That was when Remy was first born. It was 2016.
You think about the time that he's saying, like, the time is now.
Yeah.
That's some powerful stuff right there.
Because you said it before we started this, like living in the moment, living in the now.
Mm.
And I'm getting to that point now, because tomorrow isn't obviously promised, is it?
Mm.
And that sounds cliche, a bit cheesy, but it's true. You never know. You could wake up tomorrow and it'd be something's happened. How many times that's happened? A lot recently. How many phone calls we would get? Someone's not here now.
I know.
Like, it's crazy. The amount of times that happened 4 times, 5 times in 2 years. Where people are like, yeah, he's passed away or she's passed away. Like, what the fuck? So it's made me want to like live a little bit more for myself, do things more for myself is important. And I feel more free now. Like, I don't work at a label. I got my own platform. We've got Be Seen with the digivans, which is the sickest concept
Come on.
out of the country, which is going to make mad bread, and everyone's going to be wanting to get involved. We've done the sickest campaigns already. So it's like we've got things in our own ecosystem that we're controlling.
Okay, so you mentioned Be Seen. For the people, where can they find Be Seen?
Well, Instagram for now is probably we just launched about 4 months ago. So it's still quite early, but you can find us on Instagram. It should be BSCNE. So you can imagine Be Seen.
Dope name.
Be Seen, but it's spelled that way.
Sick.
And yeah, like it's very refreshing. It's challenging, but it's something that we control and we own it. And the future is the same thing. So like for the first time ever since 2014 when I came home, I have 2 things that can make me money. I can control it with my team, with my brother. And Jay, obviously, Jonathan, who's the co-founder of it, my brother, one of my brother's best friends, he's a G as well. And the team is growing bit by bit. We did mad campaigns in the Champions League final, done Dominoes, done Burner Boy, RD, Wireless.
AJ.
We've done so many sick things. And I'm like, bro, it's only going to grow. People want to invest in it already. Like, all these great, amazing things are happening. And for the first time ever since coming home, I'm now completely broken away from any ties to any corporation, any company. Not in like a negative way, it's a freeing way. I'm cool with everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like 99.9% of the people, I'm super blessed with them. And like, now I can be free to be a creative.
Yeah.
And not feel like, shit, if my fucking head of A&R hears me rapping about that, they're probably going to pull me up and say, oh, well, you know, for 2 years I was contemplating wearing a mask like M. Honcho.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Getting one girl to design it, who's like a fashion designer in the industry. Oh, yeah, I'll do that for you, that's easy. And now it's like, I could just do what I want. You know what I mean? My son's big enough now. He's 8, he's going to be 9 in the new year. He's not small. Like, I've broken away from everything and anything that was weighing me down.
So for the people, what can they expect from Travis Beckford over the next year?
A cheesy thing to say, but just expect the unexpected. Don't expect nothing. Just know he's doing something.
Yeah.
Fucking
We've been hustling, baby.
Might make a film. I might become a painter.
Okay.
I might fucking do podcasting.
Come on.
I might put out a project.
Well, bro, this...
all your favorite rappers and producers on it.
Aye, now you're telling them too much, bro.
I might
you're telling them too
sell
much.
out an arena or something.
Oh,
something crazy.
Yeah.
I do whatever I want now. So with obviously hard work and graft. Like, but I'm just saying, I'm not. For once, I feel so excited to just be in my own element and just see what happens with that, and just run with it.
Yes.
Whereas before, I was so nervous in a weird way about what people are going to think of me, how they're going to receive anything I do. Building a platform, are people going to show up? Are they going to want to come? If I make music, what are they going to say? You know, what's my mum going to say if she hears certain things I'm talking about?
Do you feel like you feeling like that has been necessary? Or if you was going to give advice to a young'un right now who all they do is worry about what everyone else is thinking of them, and they've got hella talent and they're good to go, what would you say to them?
The people you're worried about that you think are going to judge you, they're not even thinking about you. I've come to realize that now. There's been better times I thought, oh my God, if I put out this song now, I'm going to get a phone call from this person. They don't like my mentor, like, what are you doing? You're rapping about this, or you say, and it's not even like Grease. It's just like, I might be rapping something my brethrens done and say it, that did it, or allude to that.
the perfect example is like you wasn't trying to tell Wayne that you was going through a case at that time.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like there was some kind of what was that? What would you say that is? Man respected it more because you was honest with him.
Yeah, there's no bullshit in it.
Yeah.
Not bullshit. Like I don't like liars.
100%.
Like any of that kind of. I don't like muddy water.
100%. That's one
It
thing.
puts me in a position of anxiety. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? You feel like you've got to hide things. So I think he was just like, why is this happening? You tell him, okay, this is it. At least you know now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's one thing I'll say about you as well, bro, is that we've been through sticky situations, many hurdles, some great times, some dark times, some fun times. We've lived life.
Trust
But
me.
one thing I'll say is that I know I can trust your word.
I appreciate it.
And
Have to, man.
and
That's
that's
what we got at the end of the day.
that's all we got. And you know, but it's not easy to find nowadays, bro.
That's
You know,
true.
it's
That
not
is
easy to
true.
find. And the game, the industry, life,
Yeah.
bro, people are just, I don't know what it is, but there's just, it's not a lot of realness out there, bro.
People want instant gratification.
100%.
That's what it is. So they might not fuck you over, but they want to get to where they want to get to impress people that aren't even thinking about them.
Do you feel
That's what it is.
in the positions you've been in the rooms, the powers of the rooms you've been in, do you feel like you ever get used?
I've been used bare times.
I know.
I let it happen, though, innit?
I feel like we both
I let it happen.
are aware that happens.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot at the end of the day.
I
But
feel,
again, it depends like on your perspective,
Mm,
because people a lot of the time they trust me, and they'll be like, he can help to find a solution for that.
mhm.
And if and as I've gotten a bit more older, I'm more interested in about the exchange now. Whether it's financial, doesn't have to always be that.
Mm.
But like the energy has to be right.
Yeah,
If I've known this person for 10 years in the game,
Mm.
and I've grown with them, we've grown up. I got in the industry when I was 23. My son was born on my first day at Epic Records.
Wow.
Grown up with all these people now, and they're having
Jeez.
kids now. I was the
Jeez.
first one of that whole generation.
Come on.
Like,
I remember when
it's mad.
I remember when you told me, like, yeah, that was a special moment. I was like, yes,
Crazy. I was
because you were still going through so much. You think bruv, that we was in the mud still?
yeah.
You just come out. You know what I'm saying? It was,
License, bro.
bro,
I could do nothing.
mad times, but what a blessing.
The biggest blessing, and I always have maximum love for his mum for that, because regardless of anything, like, I was thinking, oh, she actually gave birth to like my son. It's crazy until you go through it. And I watch the videos sometimes back for motivation, and I get all teary. I just turn into like an absolute beast after that. Because it's not just for me, innit? But to get to your point,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel used. I just let it run. I'm like, I've helped this person quite a lot now. Especially if they don't give you their flowers too. Like I've helped a few people get to where they want to get to in their career.
And then they
And
forget.
they don't phone you like how once they get there.
Yeah.
"Oh, this is like, it's worse than the streets kind of shit." Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, you acting like you're my guy or
No,
whatever.
but-
that doesn't happen often though. I feel like in the rooms I've been in, I've been lucky enough and privileged enough to be in them rooms because I've earned my spot. And whether it's through just keeping my word, like someone says, "Oh, Travis, can you help me with this?" I'm like, "Yeah," or "No,"
Or no, which is
I'll come.
powerful one.
Or I'll find out for you.
Yeah. Well, I know
And
a
I'll
guy
just,
knows
like,
a
and I
guy.
don't really ask people for things. I genuinely don't. There's not, the whole industry knows that. I don't go around leaning on people unless there's an exchange. Marcy taught me that, but we knew that from the streets anyway.
This is,
Like,
I was gonna say, don't you notice the patterns of like what we learned growing up on the roads and whatnot? Like them same fundamental values, like you could shift over to all the business that we've been
it's all
doing.
transferable. Everything's transferable.
Mad.
Isn't it?
So
I say
like,
the same thing to my son.
yeah, and you say like obviously about the industry and how it can be a bit like, but that was normal to us on the roads.
That's it.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it was almost like, oh, that's light.
This-
It was conditioning you to
Yeah,
to be able
it's
to.
that simple saying, like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Like, we hear all these sayings, it's just the truth. So there's times where, I felt mad used by one or two people, or like they will be a bit slippery about the decisions they're making, especially if they're senior, and they kind of backdoor you a little bit or a lot. And that's happened a couple times. I'm like, I can't believe that's happened. And you have to bounce back from it and just not take it personally. So what we're gonna do? Start some street shit with some industry people. They'll be terrified, and you get blackballed. So it's just like you just carry on
Yeah.
moving in the direction with the same pure energy you have,
Yeah.
and those who see the value in you will stay with you,
Mm-hmm.
and that just like life, and those who don't
Mhm.
fall to the side, and that's a blessing in itself.
That's obviously from like the business side of things. But say if we strip the whole business side of things away, just talking about the kind of people that you want to be around, your friends, your brothers, sisters, and family, and what do you look for in your friends and family, brothers, sisters?
Just the basics, bro. Just loyalty, consistency. I have a big thing about consistency. Like to me, that means a lot. Like you've got to have some continuity about what you're doing. You have to show and prove to me, well, no matter who you are. And it could be again to my own son. Like you wanna act in a certain way, and you have to change your behavior. Or you have to do this for a period of time. And again, holding yourself accountable, because I'm very inconsistent with loads of things, and getting to that point where you've got the discipline to keep moving in the right direction. But friends and family, I know who I want around me all the time. I know the kind of people that inspire me. I know who I can trust wholeheartedly. I know who I can trust 50% with whatever. And beyond all of that, just learning to just trust myself. I want to be around me more. When I was in jail by myself for years, I loved myself.
Yeah.
Not in any weird sexual way, but I loved how like strong I was, and how resilient I was, and how mentally capable I was to think of something and follow it through, or tell myself, "No, this is light. You're gonna get through this." And when that door opens and closes for the last time, you're not coming back.
Come on.
Just loving yourself and trusting yourself. I want to be around me more, and that's it. I'll be around my son, the man, them, a couple girls that I respect and I like them and they like me, and that's it. Like just cool people. And actually a good point. Most of the people who've helped me in recent times in my life have been women, like boss women. They always keep their word. They follow through. They don't talk shit. Most guys, they feel threatened by you, and they'll never say it. They'll say, "I want to do this, I want to do that." They'll take a bit of your idea, or they'll go off to and try and start so many slippery things with women. I'm like, I really want to try this thing. I see a vision for that. They're like, yeah, perfect. I'm going to loop you in with this person.
Yeah.
It's all women, bosses. Like,
damn, shout out to the women out there keeping it real.
Bro, they're so certy, man. They're so certy. And that's why people like Stormzy and Sench, their whole team, near enough apart from their managers, all women.
Yeah.
Look at it. Like, they're all certy. And I reach out to these people and I ask them questions and they tell me the answer. They might hit me up and I'm telling them that, yo, let me do something for you now, genuinely. Like, they'll hit me up and say, I'll just loop you in with the head of ASOS. It's like, what the fuck? They're going to call me that, or this manager, and all these things. You're like, right, I didn't even ask them to do that. They just did it. And the man, them people you might ask them, like, yeah, bro, give me till whatever. And then it's long or 2 weeks later. And I know people are busy and all that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sound like that guy. I'm just saying, if certain people are around me, I move with urgency. People find me quite intense. They don't know how to they don't know how to handle me.
I can relate to that, bro.
So I'm just like, I have a white hot burning desire to succeed.
Yes.
I want to move my mum out of the hood at the end of the day, even if she wants to stay there. I want to make sure that by the time Remy's 15, he's a multi-millionaire and he knows he's going to have to work his ass off, but I have goals and plans. And if you're not moving with that intensity, the same things that I'm on, you're only going to see me in certain ways.
Yes.
You're not going to see the full, that's Travis Beckford and he's an absolute animal. Like, he's blocked out his whole life to get to there. It's not just about money, it's about progress, growth, and it's about security. Once the kids are all sorted out, all my nephews, my nieces, my son, my sisters, their pattern, my mum and my dad and that, you will see me just being a little bit more relaxed.
I look forward to that, bro. But I don't think that'll stop. I look forward to it, but
it's never gonna stop.
It's never gonna stop, bro.
We'll make 20 million one day, and I'm like, we've got to make 50.
Yeah.
And 100. I swear to you, I've always said 20 million. I'm gonna make 20 million one day. Not for me, but I know that my son's good. His son's good. Like,
facts.
That's gonna be
It's coming, bro. It's coming. Big things coming.
I definitely think it is.
I'm excited to seeing how the next year opens up for you.
Thank you, bro.
There's been a lot of graft behind the scenes, and now people are going to really see what Travis Beckford's been working on. But most importantly, I appreciate you, bro.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you. We was an IB for 2 years ago.
Come on.
I'm not going to say the full story.
It does.
The reason I being for.
I wouldn't.
And he said to me over breakfast, he's like, I want to do this clean energy thing. It's going to look like this. You manifested it that morning. And it was a rough morning. And it was a lot that night. Trust me.
It was a whole
But
holiday.
you said it and you followed through. And now in your studio where you painted the walls, you did this, you did all the lighting, you've invested thousands and thousands into yourself to get this. This is unbelievable, bro. Don't worry about me. I'm one person. You're like a whole unit. And this is going to be sick, bro. I can't wait. I'm going to bring enough people through here. I'm bring all these influencers, rappers. They're going to be sitting here. I'll sit here with you and chat to them.
My guy.
And start having real conversations. So it's on YouTube. We're seeing these guys chatting nonsense. We want to get to know the real industry. And that's what the future is all about. You sit down talking to these people on a real level and you ask them a serious question about how they got into the game and how did they grow when they took it L. How did they bounce back from that?
Them real life conversations, bro.
Time.
I don't feel like the game don't have that, bro. It's just I feel like people obviously they're protecting their persona and how they come across, but bro, the game needs that, man. I think people are
100%.
buying more into people now, and like, you know, if you think about the top rappers, you like what they're about, their story, everything about them.
Yeah.
So why
That's
not?
why Paper's so successful.
I know. It's all about the work rate, bro. He come out, he could have gone one way, just like yourself, but you didn't, bro. You're like, nah, fire, ready.
Bro.
And I rate that. I love it.
Man.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. And
Thank you, bro.
it's
It's
been
been a long journey from times where I come sit down and we'll talk to get to this point. And it's all about just believing in yourself, that self-belief. Big up Jamal.
big up Jamal
It's
Edwards.
like, yeah.
Damn.
Having that belief and planning that in like, bro, planning that seed in your mind. I remember when Kier come to visit me, I was in jail.
Shout Kier.
And yeah, big up to Kier, man. We spoke about this not too long ago because him and my other little sister, they said the same thing. They was like, oh, we used to think he was mad when he was on visits. And he used to talk about how you're going to get into music, you're going to be a rapper, or you're going to do this, you're going to create music. And he's like, I swear to you, he's like, I used to leave there thinking I felt sorry for him because I just didn't see what you were seeing.
Yeah,
and I was like, I actually appreciate it because even my little sister said something like that to me. She's like, yeah, I never thought all the things you're saying and now it's happening.
Yes.
So these things I'm planning like 2 years ago.
What's nice though is that he acknowledged that. Do you know what I'm saying? And he said it to
Yeah,
you as well.
and it's all love. Don't get me wrong, but it's just about believing in yourself.
Believing in yourself,
That's it.
and people are not going to see your vision. You know what I mean? Until the job's done. I mean, even then they don't sometimes see it. But the right people will see it. Believe in yourself. Believe in your vision. Push forward. Make sure it's the right thing that you want to wake up to every day and hit that every day until you get it done. And that's what we're doing, bro.
Accountable, innit?
Come on, broski.
I love though. Appreciate the time.
It's been a pleasure,
To
broski.
the team as well.
Come on.
I smashed it.
Thank you, bro. Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro. And so just to wrap up the show, few questions. If there was one person that you thought would be an ideal guest to come on the show, who would it be?
And I think Marcy doesn't get the flowers that he deserves, and that's not just because he's my brother. And that's why whenever I've had a big moment, especially like in most recent times with the magazines and all these amazing things, he's part of the Futurist team. He saw me created from nothing.
Come on.
But always add him in there. Always say put his picture in there, have his name in there, because he's someone who's done so much for so many people, rappers, producers. Like he's shot some of the biggest music videos with Luke Biggins. Rest in peace. He's done so much for grime. Back in the day, with Wiley, with Kano, Tinchy, Dizzy, he was part of that whole movement for West London and Hyper. To then open up, he's part of the reason why the scene is how it is now. From all these, man, you only get a couple people like Lethal B and Kano that really took it there from that era, which is fine. But he's been very successful in other areas, and he's got a lot to say. I think he would be the perfect person to sit on this couch here or sit on these comfy ass chairs and talk about the game from his perspective. He's like an OG now.
Come on. I feel like every time I talk to Marcy is hella gems, bro.
Yeah, he's
And
that guy.
He's that
He
guy.
is that guy.
Like,
And he knows he's that
he
guy
knows
too.
that guy.
He knows he's that guy.
we could be anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Whether we're on the phone, by the swimming pool, anywhere, bro. Go and get
He
food.
would start rapping
He is
to you.
dropping gems. I'm saying because he's just
locked in.
fact.
Oh, man.
He
He's
is.
like my inspiration. He's
Yeah.
like, we'll be working in an office and he's got his headphones in listening to podcasts and on the Mac all day.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this guy needs to take one ear off or something because I'm out
yeah.
here playing Cleo Soul and Nines. I want the man them to talk to me a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all right, cool. What we doing now?
It's that work though, bro.
We've been working for 4 hours and no one said shit. Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah. That's
He's
the
on
grind,
it, man. He's determined.
He knows what's like what you got to do to lock in. It's important as well. I think I struggled with it over the years, trying to find my way of locking in. I think I'm locking in, but you can tap in deeper.
Things you need your tribe though.
Yeah,
As I
100%.
said, You
bro.
need your squad, and you've got people like me, Marcy. We're gonna do a lot more together. I'm just saying, I've got that now. I've got like my
Yes.
money team.
Yep.
I've got Jay. I've got Marcy. Obviously, I've got my emotional stability there. I know who I can lean on. I've got my gym team. Like I've structured it all, and you've done the same. But you've done a lot of this by yourself. So I feel like you've got your people you're working with, and this is only gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's only gonna get to a point where you're gonna get adverts, and they're gonna pay you 20 grand for an advert. Like seriously, it's like how Wallow and Gilly have built their thing.
Kombrowski.
$1 million worth of game.
Well, it's-
I can see clean energy being that, and it will be that, and we'll make sure it will be that. And that's it, innit?
Thank you for always believing in me. Because
It's important, man.
from the get go, it's always you've always seen my vision, and our visions have always been crazy. And like, but are they crazy? I feel like
Nah.
you've got to be crazy to have the big visions and then to make it happen. Maybe we're just crazy, and I like that.
Bro,
I'm here for it.
do you know what it is? It's more about knowing that we can do anything we put our mind to, and fucking just going for it now, man. That's it. Because we grew
Let's
up
go.
being like that.
Yeah, let's go.
Whether it's like making something out of nothing on a basic level, like running around doing graffiti. We'll look at a building or a wall differently to Adam and bloody Sandra. Because we're like, nah, that's a piece of art. We're gonna tag that wall, for example. Creating something out of nothing and doing it. That's what I really enjoy about everything about being a creative. And for you to sit down when we're mash up in Ibiza, boiling hot, hungover, not slept in however long, and you're like, I'm gonna do this clean energy thing. I could just see it I could see it with my own eyes as you was explaining it. It's gonna look like this, and it was what 2 years ago, and now look, it's here, and it's better than what you probably thought. You know what I'm saying? It's sick, bro. Like this is gonna be worth M's in about, I'll give it maximum a year and a half, and it's been worth like 6-7 M's.
My God.
I swear down. It will be
appreciate
though,
it, bro.
because like
Yeah,
it's I can just see it, man. Mark my words, bro. Trust me.
Travis.
Let's go, man.
Thank you, bro. You're the guy. Brothers,
bro, man.
before anything,
Trust me.
it's been a long journey. I believe this conversation is one of many. We have conversations all the time off camera,
Yeah.
but I feel like a lot of people can learn from our conversations, your story, the things we've been through.
100%.
And yeah, bro, I appreciate you. I'm sure the people will vouch and say they appreciate you too, bro.
I think they will take some good things from it.
Gems.
It's hard to cram in like so much life, journey, experiences all in like what, an hour or so?
It's supposed to be an hour, bro. We've just filmed for probably like 2.5, 3 hours, dog.
Probably, innit? Yeah, probably.
But that's what happens
probably.
when your brothers and the conversation flows, and it's just. But there's so much to unpack.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like
100%.
I just wanted people to see more about yourself, and you know, because we're not out here talking about things all the time. You leave it and you pack it away, and it just comes out in other ways, and people are like, "Right, that's dope."
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying? But I want people to know more about you, so we're definitely gonna have more conversations, bro.
Let's do it.
And because I appreciate you, and I want the world to see that, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
And they will anyway, because you're already doing great big things.
Thank
And
you.
the stadium thing, that's happening, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like, which one now? Which country, bro? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's some serious plans in motion. Trust me.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to just. It's just gonna kick off next year. It's gonna proper kick off, man.
I'm excited.
Wait for it, because it's gonna be
It's gonna be
yeah,
special.
it's gonna be I think a lot bigger than what people may be thinking or may not be thinking. Maybe no one's even thinking about it.
They're not. That's the
No,
thing, bro.
Yeah, they're thinking, oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
cool, he's doing his thing,
Yeah.
but you know, but they don't have a clue
Nope.
the conversations that are being had and what's going to happen. And when it does happen, they'll be like, fuck it now, that's a mad thing. I
Yes.
believe that's happening. And then more bigger opportunities will come off the back of that. And yeah, it's gonna be sick, man.
Like, Trav, I ain't seen you in ages.
Mate.
You're looking well, bro.
Nah, we'll be
It'll be like,
we'll be together. There's a few things.
no, not me and you. I'm talking
Oh,
about them,
them.
bro. Yeah.
Oh yeah. My
that's
number
it.
will be changed by that.
I was gonna say this phone.
They'll probably DMing me or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we chat? It's like, yeah, what's the exchange?
Yeah, for real.
What we're gonna do together that's gonna mutually benefit both parties.
Exactly. So, Trav, for the people, where can they find you?
Social media is probably the best bet. My
Mhm.
LinkedIn is just Travis Beckford. But Travis Showing Growth is my personal Instagram. You see a lot of the things that I do on that page.
Mm-hmm.
The Future Is
Mhm.
as well, which is TheFutureIs. The Future Is. That's on Instagram. Be Seen as well. BSCNE. Be Seen. That's on Instagram. It's all in my handle anyway. So Travis Showing Growth is probably the easiest thing.
Yeah.
And just shout me, man. If we can work together, let's do it.
Let's get it, bro.
That's it, man.
Well, it's been a blessing, my guy.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
You're
Congratulations again. This is sick, bro.
Come on, bro. We're just getting started right now.
That's it.
Appreciate you. We're
Love.
locked in, my guy.
Cool.
Yes, my people, I hope you enjoyed that episode with my brother Travis. Lots of gems being dropped. If you can do me a big favor and subscribe to the YouTube and follow us on the socials, which you can find underneath in the link below. I hope you're all having an amazing day, but if you're not, you're in the right place.